Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we are here in Bremen, Germany.
If you're not German, you might have never heard about Bremen, but I think at least every German child has heard about the city because there's actually a Grimm fairy tale that's about it. Bremen is the 11th largest city in Germany and it has over 500,000 people living in the metro region. We've been here before and we know that the city is beautiful, so we can't wait to show you, and most importantly, we can't wait to eat all the local things because Bremen and northern Germany in general has some really special dishes, so I can't wait. Let's eat. We're gonna start off with a little snack. We're gonna have a fish bun. This is called Bremer Brötchen or just Bremer, and it is a bun that has a fish patty on it, some ketchup, some onions. We got this at Fisherman's, which is a fish restaurant here, because Bremen is very close to the North Sea and Bremerhaven, which is the second part of the city, is right at the ocean. So there's a lot of fish in the city. That's what people eat here. And yeah, we wanted to start off with something that is local. And the woman said that this has salmon and caviar inside. So that's really interesting. It smells very fishy.
It really does. You can smell it from here.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I know a lot of people think it is, but let's see. I'm just gonna bite like right into the middle because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to eat the bread. I like it. I don't know if the ketchup is different or maybe it's the onions, but it kind of has like the sweet taste to it. It does really look like a boulette. Like that's what the translation is, fish frikadelle. And we also have meat frikadellen, so.
So basically what, like it's minced fish made into a patty?
Yeah, it almost doesn't really taste that fishy to me. And it's really cheap. It's only $3.50, I think, or $3.90. Yeah.
I have to be honest, this was not what I was expecting at all. They had a little poster outside of the shop showing what it looked like, and I thought it was just like a battered piece of fish in a bun, but yeah, it's totally just minced up fish with all these herbs inside. It looks like there's like potato or something in it too, I don't know. And then of course, this Kaiser roll. Looks really good though. It's like a giant fish finger or something. Again, this is not what I expected at all. I did not think it was going to be cold, so that's interesting. It's really soft in texture. It's pretty salty, honestly, so I think that you need that sweetness from the ketchup, but for $3.50, this is like the perfect snack. Especially like a lot of the seafood restaurants around here are quite expensive. So with this, you still have the chance to try some local seafood, but on a budget.
All the buildings here at the market square look so beautiful. We just went into the Cathedral. There's always been a church here since like 789. There was a wooden church and then there was made a stone one in 805 or something. And then since the 1800s, this one has been here. It's gigantic and it's free. And yeah, it was really nice.
It's just as beautiful on the inside as it is on the outside. Much like most of the buildings around here, they have that Gothic style architecture that we love every time. There's like gargoyles and statues and just the carvings, and everything looks so amazing. So
it looks like Notre Dame from the outside too.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
It's really beautiful. This whole market square is super beautiful.
Yeah, apparently the town hall is 600 years old. So it definitely looks like a fairy tale here.
Yeah, this whole area looks like a fairy tale village.
Right in the middle of the market square, there's a market hall called Markthalle Acht or Market Hall 8. It's this really cool and hip place that has all these international food stands. They have tapas, pizza, Mexican food, Vietnamese food, everything you can think of. And yeah, it has a really cool vibe. But we only really want to eat Bremen food or German food in this video. So we're not going to have any food here, but there's a really cool shop at the entrance of the market hall, which has all these cool Bremen snacks. So let's go in there.
The first thing we're going to try from Made in Bremen is this beer from Freie Braue Union. And it is a 6% beer. I'm not even sure what type of beer it is. It says Hansit on it, whatever the hell that means. I think that Anis told me on the back it says that it has flavors of biscuit and citrus and stuff like that. So sounds pretty unique, and it's 6%. So let's see. I don't know that I taste biscuits or anything like that, but it's pretty delicious. Of course, the most famous beer known here in Bremen is a different beer, which we're going to try later. But this lady came randomly when we were filming and told us that we should try these. I don't know, what are these?
It's a
Bio
Italian like snack biscuits, I don't know.
Biotarali with chilies on it. And she has a stand over there, and she came over and gave us this for free, I guess. So we're gonna try this little snack that she gave us. She was really nice, said that it would go well with this beer, so let's see. Now, let's try it with the beer.
Was she right?
I mean, any kind of savory snack with a beer is perfect. It has like a little hint of spice, but it's like on the back end. Not super spicy, but it's just really crunchy, a little bit salty, but not too salty. But yeah, good drinking snack.
Prost. There's a little bit of sweetness and maybe acidity. Like it does say like that it tastes like lemon, but I don't taste any biscuits, no. It's yummy though. It tastes like kind of like olive oil or something, because obviously it's Italian. I feel like I can taste the olive in it. I don't know, it is kind of dry, but it is also kind of buttery. It says Ruger Biofeinkost on the back, and that's what the stand is called. Pretty good.
So
And
buy
it's-
from her stand, because she's
Yeah, buy from her stand. I assume these stands are always here in the summer on Saturdays. I don't know, but it's pretty cool to have like this little market with different vendors selling stuff. These are really spicy though, for me. It's like hitting my throat now, and I only had the tiniest piece.
It is not that bad.
So I guess Brandon's gonna eat them, but they're tasty. Sad.
As the name obviously suggests, Made in Bremen has all these local products from Bremen. They have different liquors like rum and whiskeys. They obviously have beers like the one we tried. They have clothing. They have pretty much everything. So it's pretty cool.
There are loads of different things, like a bunch of different candies. And you could buy like this candy box. They had chocolates. They had bread in a can, which is really weird, and other cans of their local specialties. So yeah, they have really, really cool items there. What we decided to get are these Bremer Kluten. I think that's how you say it. I read that Kluten in the dialect from here, I suppose, actually means Klumpen in High German or Normal German, and that means clumps. So it's basically Bremer clumps. And this is like a peppermint fondant with dark chocolate. Yeah, it has existed since 1865. I've noticed they have a lot of candies that are peppermint based, so I guess they really like peppermint.
Yeah, the sweets look very old school.
Yeah, like a lot of them say that they are from an apotheke, or like, I guess that's what the candy shops used to be, which is like a pharmacy. Because I think even in other places, sometimes they thought it's like medicine, right? Like, but this is what it looks like. I'm curious about this. It kind of just looks like sugar covered in chocolate, and the size of it is apparently 2 sugar cubes, which makes sense.
It straight up just looks like a sugar cube.
Yeah, I don't know which end should I bite.
Just eat the whole thing.
Oh. It's like hurting my teeth. Ow. It tastes like After Eight. Like even the inside is just like a little harder After Eight paste. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that's in there is like very gooey, and this one's harder. It's not like granulated like sugar. Yeah, it's nice. It's kind of refreshing. Very pepperminty, yummy. I probably wouldn't eat more than one, but it's good.
Good thing we have a whole box. One of the candy boxes that they had was really, really cool. It had this purple box with the Bremen cat musician on it. It had a bunch of different local candies and specialties in it, but it was 20 euros, so that was a little bit out of our budget. So we just went with one of the items that was in there, which is this. I really don't think that I'm gonna like this that much, because I don't like peppermint and chocolate together that much, but let's see. I'm gonna pop the whole thing in my mouth.
No.
Yeah, that was a very accurate description. It's essentially just an After Eight, but a big cube After Eight. So it is really good, actually. It's really refreshing, but it wouldn't be my go-to as a candy, but Still definitely worth a try.
I guess it's kind of like the chocolate to peppermint ratio is the opposite.
Yeah, basically. It's a big chunk of peppermint with a little thin layer of chocolate. It is now time for some more food, and we stopped by a little stand near the market hall. It's actually called Stadtmusikanten Bistro, and this dish is called the Stadtmusikanten Teller, or the Bremen musician's plate. And it has a bunch of different specialties of Bremen on it. It has this herring dish, it's got some beets, it's got egg, potatoes, it's got these gherkins, it's got Knipp, and also some Labskaus with some herring. So this looks absolutely delicious. We were so happy to see that we could get this all on one plate. We were originally going to either get 2 of the different plates, or there was a restaurant we wanted to go to which was closed. But this looks really, really good. I'm going to start with the Knipp, which is a local sausage. Apparently it's made from local grains that are grown in Bremen and in the Saxony area. It's also got pork head, pork face, I think, pork belly, I think pork broth, and some other things. And it looks very interesting. It doesn't look like a normal sausage. It's basically just a sausage without the casing from the looks of it. Let's shut up and eat. It smells really good. Oh, also it has liver in it. It definitely reminds me of a liver sausage, like the one that we had in Budapest. It has a slight liver taste. It's also got a meatiness to it. And it's really crunchy because it seems like they like flatten it out on the grill and get it all crispy along the edges, which is really nice. It also comes with all these different sides, so I'm gonna try one of them out. I guess this is what, a pickle? It looks like a cucumber. It's just a really sweet and sour pickle. Yeah, I'm very excited for this and I can't wait to try the rest of these items.
That is so interesting. I would have never even thought that this is sausage, because you can just see all these little grains. It's almost like this mush with grains and meat paste that they just like fried in the pan.
It kind of reminds me of black pudding in the UK.
Oh yeah.
Or white pudding.
But it's instead of like being in a disc, it's like mushed up.
Yeah.
And when you like chew on it, you can actually like hear the little grains. Like, I don't know. It's really yummy. Although I am from Germany, the dishes you get here, they're things that I've never heard about. Like I'd never heard of Knipp before, and another thing that we have here is called Labskaus. Apparently it's salted meat, like corned beef with onions. Sometimes there's like herring in it, there's beetroot in it. It almost looks like it's raw, but apparently it's not, it's just like salted.
It kind of looks like corned beef hash.
Really? I don't know.
Corned beef hash.
I've never had that much. And apparently you're supposed to eat the egg with it. Like that's what that dish comes with. And it comes with the herring. So you always get this like combination of Labskaus, egg, and herring. That's so weird. It's like potato mash. I don't know, is there potato in it? I need to look it up again. It's like salty, sour potato mash. Tastes so much different than I thought it would taste because it really like looks like this meat paste. Interesting. It's really good. And I can see why it would really go well with some beetroot. Yeah.
So in case you didn't notice, we moved because the sun was blinding us and scalding our eyes out of our heads, and this place is a lot more shady. So moving on, just like Anya said, it actually does have potatoes in it. She looked it up. So it is like corned beef hash, which is something that I grew up with, which is corned beef mixed with mashed potatoes. So I got a little bit of the meat, a little bit of the egg yolk. Let's try it. 100%, that is exactly what it tastes like. This tastes like my childhood. I did not expect to taste a piece of my childhood in Bremen, yeah. That's so strange, but it's really good. Obviously I like it. It is something similar to what I grew up with. That's really cool. Let's try some of these potatoes. The potatoes are your pretty typical standard potatoes, but they're really crispy and crunchy because they've been like laying in like a flat top or something like that. So they've had a long time to char. Yeah, this is really good. This whole plate is delicious.
I'm gonna eat some of the rollmops or the herring. It's yummy. It's such a different experience to like the standard German food that you think of, you know, like pork knuckle and just like regular sausages. I feel like most people wouldn't think of this. I really like it. I really like the Knipp, but just like this whole combination is really awesome, and you get it for really cheap here at the stand. So
What was it, $13.50?
$13.50, yeah. And you can try basically a bunch of Bremen specialties, yeah. Let me try this with the egg. Labskaus and egg. Yeah, it works well together. Yum, yum, yum. The old town has a bunch of restaurants and a bunch of cafes, and there's all these shopping opportunities. So there's even this like arcade that we're walking through, which is really cool. And it's actually Saturday, so the city is super full and everyone's just enjoying themselves, and it's super hot as well. It's 29 degrees, so yeah, there's so many people.
We also just so happen to come here the weekend of Pride Parade, so it is super busy. Everybody's having a great time. It's good vibes everywhere, but it does mean that the streets are really packed, and also some of the transportation is shut down, so we couldn't really get certain buses or trams that we wanted to, but still really, really cool.
Yeah, and while Pride is amazing, it's not the best for filming because it's so loud. There's actually a river that goes right through Bremen, and that's the Weser. I think that also goes through Bremerhaven and Kassel, maybe. And yeah, it's really nice down here. They have like some food stands, some candy stands, and there's all these boats that are really cool.
Yeah, one of them serves a bunch of beer.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's probably too expensive for us, but it's nice to look at. Or you can just sit right here on the stairs and bring your own beer and enjoy the view for much less money.
It's beautiful.
There's also this little street with all these beer gardens right next to the river, and that's really, really nice. It's really cool.
I think that we went here like, I don't know, 7 years ago or something like that, and we only just realized when we were walking through, we were like, we've been here before, we've eaten here before, had drinks. Really, really cool spot. If you come to Bremen, you should definitely come here.
I think Brandon had one of his first German meals here. We're now in the Böttcherstraße, or Cooper Street, and I guess there used to be coopers here, which were craftsmen that made like buckets and casks and things like that. And it looks so cool. It kind of reminds me of like Harry Potter. I don't know, it's so old school and pretty and weird. I feel like especially this little corner reminds me of Harry Potter because it just looks like you should drink a butterbeer right here and go to Hogwarts afterwards. The cock is gone. Where'd it go? That's what it says here, the cock is gone.
We're now about to go check out the Schnoor district, which is one of the oldest and most well-preserved districts here in Bremen. It's got about 100 houses that range from the 15th to the 19th century, so it's very old school. It looks super cool, and it looks like a little fairy tale village, so let's go check it out.
So we barely went inside this district and we saw this bakery that had all these like different candies. They even had the Kluten, the Bremer Kluten we tried earlier for much cheaper. So you should come here if you want to try them. But they also had these Schnoor Kuller, and you could get single ones because at the other place they were like, what, 6 euros for 7 euros for a whole bag. And this one was, I think, less than €1 or maybe €1, I don't know. It's this nut meringue filled with nougat, I think. It's very soft. They're apparently from here. They're even called Schnoor Kuller, so kind of like Schnoor balls, and they're named after this district. Let's see what this tastes like.
So soft. I heard a nut.
No, it's a meringue.
Is that what snapped though?
It's really yummy. The nougat is delicious. I like it. You can't really taste the meringue, but the nougat is where it's at. It's really nutty. It's delicious. Yeah, I like it. Yum.
It's falling apart. That's nice because you have that creamy nougat on the outside with the little bits of nuts, and then it's like hard and crunchy on the inside from that meringue. Yeah, that's really good. The next thing we're going to try is called Bremer Kluten, which is like basically Stollen, the fruitcake that you often get around Christmas time. And what was cool about this place also is that you could get it by the slice. The Made in Bremen store also had this, but it was in like a loaf. And that loaf was like 8 euros or 9 euros. And we didn't want to buy that whole thing. So lucky we get to try it. It's almost like raisin bread. Like there's so many raisins inside this. It's a tiny bit dry, but it's still really good. I think because there are so many raisins in there, it makes it really nice and sweet. But I think this is the kind of thing that you should have with coffee or tea. Does it remind you of Christmas?
Yep. This tastes like Stollen. The main difference apparently is that it's not dusted in white sugar, but people apparently still eat this for Christmas. And apparently it's best if you serve it 2 weeks after it's made, and it even like lasts for months. Yeah, I think this is better because this one is actually quite moist in comparison to some of the Christmas Stollen that I've eaten in the past. I prefer the marzipan one though, but this is actually quite good for a fruitcake. We're now on the Schnoorstraße or Schnoor Street, and it's so cute. There's all these little houses right next to each other, and it looks so old school. It actually reminds me of places in the UK. Apparently the name Schnoor comes from thread, because in German thread means Schnur, and the houses, they're all like lined up like a thread. So yeah, super cute. So if you haven't heard of the fairy tale that's associated with the city, it's the Bremer Stadtmusikanten, or in English, the town musicians of Bremen. And it's about a donkey that is old, and I think he's supposed to get sold, and then he decides to go to Bremen, become a musician, and he meets a dog that's also old and he can't hunt anymore, a cat that can't catch mice anymore, and apparently her owner is going to drown her, and then a rooster, and he is supposed to get cooked the next day because he's also old. So together they're all deciding they will be street musicians. They're going to Bremen. On the way there, they're running into some thieves where they're chasing them away from the house, and they're basically taking over the house, and they're all working together by creating this tower which looks like the statue, and they're scaring these thieves because the thieves think it's like this big monster or whatever. So yeah, that's a fairy tale. I grew up with it. There was even this movie where some humans wore these weird animal heads, and it looked really creepy. But that's the story that's associated with Bremen. If you haven't read it, you should read it.
And in the Marktplatz near the city hall, there's also a manhole cover where you can put a piece of change down into the manhole cover, and one of the Bremen musicians will cry out and make a sound.
They're making music.
Yeah, they're making music down there.
It's the rooster.
Speaking of animals, we were actually here in Bremen because we were doing a pet sit through Trusted House Sitters, which is one of our favorite companies to use while we're traveling and looking for a free place to stay. So if you love animals, you love traveling as well, maybe check out Trusted House Sitters and check out our link in our description.
We're now in an area called Das Viertel, which is basically just the quarter. And it's this really cool, hip, alternative area that has a bunch of cafes, restaurants, and bars. Pretty much when I looked up rock bars or punk bars, all of them were in this area. I really, really love it. It seems really, really cool. There's all this graffiti and street art, and it just reminds me of home, of Berlin.
We're now going to walk around, explore the area a little bit, and try to find a cool bar. So we're walking around this area and there is no shortage of cool bars. We actually first stopped at a place called Die Schenke, which is a punk bar, one of the only punk bars in Bremen. And it was super cool. The decorations on the inside were all horror and punk themed, our kind of place. We had grabbed a local beer there, but now we are at another place called Haifischbecken, which I guess means shark tank, fish tank. Yeah. And we got ourselves a Beck's, which honestly is probably one of the most famous German beers in Canada. You can get Beck's, but it is from here in Bremen. So, Prost. Just a classic standard beer. It's only 4.9%. It's not really anything special when you compare it to other beers around Germany, but still nice and refreshing.
We also got the shot, the Mexicana or the Mexican, which is a German shot. It's not known in Mexico. We actually tried to get this in Berlin, but failed. And here we have it. It apparently is kind of like a mini Bloody Mary, made out of like Tabasco, tomato juice, corn, a German liquor, and pepper and things like that. I don't know how spicy it is.
Guess you'll find out in a minute.
I'm not gonna shoot it.
What? You have to shoot it.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Prost. It is spicy. I'm okay, but it's spicier than I like. It's yummy though. Tastes like spaghetti sauce, spicy spaghetti sauce.
Well, I love spicy things, so prost.
Prost.
It tastes like Campbell's tomato soup,
See?
but a little bit spicy. It's good.
So how do you like Bremen?
I actually really like it here, surprisingly. We've actually been here twice, but we didn't really get to explore because we came here for a concert event for me. But now that we actually get to explore it, I really, really like it. It's got like a good mix of hipster and alternative, but it's got like a really cool downtown market hall area that seems really traditional and old school with beautiful Gothic architecture. And then it also has these really nice suburban kind of areas with like these really interesting homes, these bright pastel colors. It just really seems like a place that I could live, surprisingly. I didn't think I would ever think that when I came to Bremen, but I would say this is like top 3, top 5 favorite cities in Germany at this point.
So
it's
far.
really, really nice. Yeah, so far.
I have to agree, I really love Bremen, especially this area with all the bars, cafes, and vegan shops and all that stuff. It just reminds me of my home in Berlin, like I said earlier. And I really also like the areas around it because they remind me of the Netherlands. Like Brandon said, there's all these weird houses, they're like next to each other. I don't know, also like the UK. And I feel like it's quite unusual in Germany to have areas that look like that. At least when I think about the places that I've been to in Germany, they never look like that. Yeah, I really like Bremen and I think it's underrated. And if you've never heard of it, or if you never thought about coming here, maybe you should.
We had a great time in Bremen today. We're really glad that we came here, but that is it for now. So if you did like this video, give it a like, write us a comment, and by far the most important thing is to hit that subscribe button. So that is it, and we'll see you all in the next one.